LSU is going to be playing for an SEC championship on Saturday, December 6th of 2025. Will they win it? I don't know. But if they make the SEC championship, they're probably in the college football playoff. Scratch that. They're definitely in the college football playoff. But let's break all this down right now. LSU, I've said before on previous shows for those that watch, they are my frozen pizza team of 2025. Last year, my frozen pizza team was Notre Dame. This year, it's LSU. I say that just to let you know, if we have a team in the frozen pizza category, it usually means we got a pretty good handle on them and what they're going to be here in this upcoming season. We liked Notre Dame a lot last year. The offseason continued to progress, and we started to like them more and more. Season goes on, and they go play for a national title. What I mean by frozen pizza team is we've all had our Red Baron or your DiGiorno, or Publix actually has a tremendous frozen pizza for those of y'all that don't know. But frozen pizza, it sounds good for dinner, probably for most of us that have a pulse and have working taste buds. But like that frozen pizza, once it gets to like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 a.m., you're like, dang, I could go for some of that. That's how I feel about LSU right now. The season ends, I'm like, good team. I like Brian Kelly. I like Garrett Nussmeier. I like the roster, all those things. But the offseason progresses. Get through spring ball. You look more at the roster, look more at the SEC. I'm like, gosh, dang, I'm not so sure I'm not going to pick LSU, not just to play for an SEC title. I might pick them to go win the whole darn thing. We pump the brakes, but that's just, I'm telling you, that's the vibe I have right now with the Tigers. The longer you look at them, you're like, why not LSU? What is LSU lacking that just makes this a ridiculous statement? Why you wouldn't pick them to win the conference? Quarterback? Nope. Most proven commodity in the country at quarterback going into next season. And he's only going to get better, you'd have to believe. Physically, yeah, sure, year two in Joe Sloan's system, you would hope just he's able to progress and take more strides there. Awesome. But I think mentally and emotionally, we spoke to this before. You know what I think Garrett Nussmeier was lacking a year ago? A full year of actually playing college football as a starting quarterback. It's not his fault. Like, there were things that Garrett Nussmeier didn't know or wasn't privy to last year because he hadn't actually played the position in certain spots last year. What I mean by that is, like, look at the game against A&M. Playoff game, on the road, a playoff game of sorts, I would say, when it comes to implications. It was his first time ever in his life feeling the weight of what that moment was. Now, this year, when they go to Alabama, November 8th, on the road, Tuscaloosa, similar kind of vibe, you have to think. I think Bama will be pretty good. I think there'll be probably some playoff implications here. Think about the mental space that Garrett Nussmeier was in a year ago to the mental space he'll be in this year going into that game. Have to think more confident, have to think he knows more of what to expect, have to think he feels just emotionally in a more composed spot. All of those things make for better athletic performance. All of those things will make for a better Garrett Nussmeier. So you check the box. Okay, quarterback, feel good. Yo, everything else around LSU, the word I would use, it feels more sturdy to me. It does. Like, there's continuity at coordinator. Joe Sloan, cool. Blake Baker, great on the defensive side of things. Okay, awesome. That's a good vibe. Top 2 portal class from LSU. We said it before. They're actually playing to win in the portal, not just participating. It took 18 transfers. 8 of those cats from the SEC. Only 2 were non-Power 4 transfers. One of those guys was a punter. Shout out to punters worldwide. But like, the bottom line is they're taking guys in the portal that have played and produced, and you know what you're getting in them. Varian Brown, Nick Anderson, Patrick Payton. There's guys that you can actually plug in, play, and say, okay, we know what you are. You're going to help us. Instead of, oh, we got this guy from a lower level. We hope he's able to fill some holes for us. Oh, this guy's a backup. Hope he can help us out. The roster just feels like it's in a better place. Now, here's the pushback we'll get, and pushback we've already gotten, and I feel more than equipped to handle this. People are going to say, well, JD, what about the Brian Kelly effect of it all? Is Brian Kelly good? Should we be worried about Brian Kelly? It's year 4, so your culture should be in place, and he should kind of have it be his football team now, and that should be solidified. Is Brian Kelly holding you back? Brian Kelly's coached 21 years of college football and won 73% of his games. Doesn't sound like someone that's going to hold you back to me. Has he won a national championship yet? Not yet. Does that mean that he's a bad football coach? I don't think. Again, 21 years, won 73% of his games. If you think he's the problem, go ahead and touch grass. Well, JD, but we had Jaden Daniels and we didn't win the national. Yeah, I understand that. But who brought Jaden Daniels in? Who brought Mike Denbrock in for that magical run? how bad could it have been if you didn't have a quarterback out there with a Swiss cheese defense? So I feel very strongly about this. I think Brian Kelly is more than good enough for you this year. Just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it won't happen. They said it about Ryan Day. They said it about Kirby Smart. Is Brian Kelly the next guy to get off that list? I don't think it's irresponsible to think that thought. So when we speak to this discussion, though, again, this prediction is about them playing for the SEC championship in Atlanta. So it's pretty fair to talk about the other teams in the conference they would have to compete with to then get to Atlanta. LSU has the least amount of big question marks to me, paired with the most known commodity at quarterback, which we already spoke to. But across the conference, who's playing quarterback for Bama? Georgia's got Gunnar Stockton. I think he's going to be good, but we'll see. Arch Manning, same deal. He's still got to prove it. Austin Simmons still got to prove it. And then there's a lot of other teams that you feel good about their quarterback position, but you're wondering if they're able to really put it all together, right? Like Florida and DJ Lagway. I like DJ Lagway. Do they have the juice to go compete for an SEC championship? We'll see. I mean, Auburn, Jackson Arnold, I like him. I've said a lot about his upside. We'll see if they can put it together. There's a lot there. A&M, same deal. Can they actually put it together? So for LSU, there's still some put-it-together questions, but I feel the best about the roster with Brian Kelly, with Garrett Nussmeier. They will be in Atlanta playing for the conference on December 6th. Make no mistake about it.